mouth of the Sound, Jimmy Hart. Hey, check out my new tag team, baby, Monty and the Pharaoh.
Hey, Jimmy, don't forget to tell them about Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast.
Well, you know what, I would, but you already did it.
It's Monty and the Pharaoh.
With Monty and Pharaoh. The Monty and Pharaoh Show.
Monty and Pharaoh, bro.
Monty and the Pharaoh.
Monty and the Pharaoh.
Monty and the Pharaoh.
The Monty and Pharaoh Show.
And you're watching the Monty and Pharaoh Show.
Monty and the Pharaoh.
With Monty and the Pharaoh.
Monty and the Pharaoh.
It's Monty and the Pharaoh.
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 Monty and Pharaoh.
It's Monty and the Pharaoh.
And Monty and the Pharaoh. Oh, is it Monty and the Pharaoh?
Yeah.
Monty and Pharaoh.
The Monty and the Pharaoh Show.
Monty and the Pharaoh. To the Monty and the Pharaoh Show. And it's Monty and the Pharaoh, baby.
Watching Monty and the Pharaoh.
With Monty and the Pharaoh. Monty and the Pharaoh. Oh, what a run.
Monty and the Pharaoh.
Monty and the Pharaoh.
Hey, cut music. When you want the best in professional wrestling, Long Island, there's only one place you're going to get it, right here.
Monty and the Pharaoh. Now, that's not just the coolest, and that's not just the best. That, my friends, is just incredible. Monty and the Pharaoh.
You've got the future Hall of Famer, that rocker, Marty Jannetty, and MJ in the house, and I'm sitting here with two more future Hall of Famers, Monty and the Pharaoh. We're doing that stuff, and we gonna rock it.
He's got a knife and duct tape, and he still stands no chance. What man in his properest freaking frame of mind would go into her house? She's a brute!
Straight to the top. We're living this life, not just dreaming it, we're doing it for real. Straight to the top. Working hard every day just to live out that tower.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast out of Indie Music TV here out of Ronkonkoma, Long Island. Let's open up with Buff Bagwell.
Okay.
As reported by Cobb County, remember Cobb County?
Cobb County, Georgia.
What wrestler came from Cobb
Big
County?
Boss Man.
Big Boss Man,
Of course,
you got it.
yeah, go on.
WWE superstar Marcus Alexander Bagwell was seriously injured following a car accident that happened earlier this week. Based on the findings, Buff Bagwell was reportedly impaired by prescription medication at the time of the accident.
The medication, I wonder what kind of medication it was. Didn't he have a horrible car accident in the past?
I'm not
Or
sure.
an accident of some kind?
Well, we had him in studio. So let me ask you, we never even talked about this, but
I loved when he was here. He's a good dude.
he was a great guy.
Yeah.
Do you think at that moment in our studio he was under the influence then?
No. No, I didn't think that. Why?
See, it's interesting.
For real? No, I didn't think that.
I thought he was.
But on what, though?
That I don't know. But
Really? No, I just thought he's just an energetic guy.
Well, you did see a couple of months ago where he had this rant on YouTube or Facebook where he was totally.
Now, you know me. You know I probably don't even. Maybe I didn't see this. What happened? He did a rant?
He was just ranting. He was
did he seem to be
incoherent.
impaired?
He was incoherent. He had a lot of problems.
Seemed to be impaired.
Yeah.
Interesting. Was he saying outrageous things?
Yeah. Months after his brother was indicted in one of the largest public corruption cases in Mississippi history, federal authorities are trying to seize the $1.5 million Madison home of former pro wrestler Ted DiBiase Jr.
Not good.
This is according to the court documents filed in June and obtained by Clarion Ledger. The state audit in 2019 showed that DiBiase's family and former professional wrestlers received millions of dollars from Mississippi's welfare agency through nonprofit business deals and travel reimbursements for recent years. Way to go, Ted.
This is terrible. First the career down the and now
How
this.
about he lives in a $1.5 million home?
Yeah, where did he get the money for
That's
that?
what I'm saying.
Wait a second.
This guy was like a B wrestler, right?
Oh, yeah.
But they don't get paid enough.
Oh, God.
They don't get paid enough, right? Right? 1.5 million. But if that's not enough,
what?
You give them 1.5, they take more. They steal from people on welfare. How you like that?
Yeah, that's way to go there.
Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels makes his return.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to address the issues that happened between what we covered last week, Randy Orton and Ric Flair.
Right. He's got a little hair there, Shawn.
Shawn grew a little hair, got a little bit of beard.
A little bit of hair.
The big news is everybody's pointing out that Shawn no-sold the punt. Thoughts?
What'd you think? Did you think he no-sold the punt?
I got to be honest with you. No,
Right.
I didn't.
Yeah,
I thought
it was fine.
I thought he played the role, but when you talk, Bully Ray, he was complaining that he felt that look, everybody that takes the punt is out cold.
Okay.
And you want to make that's the toughest finisher. And when I was listening to it, I kind of understood what he was saying.
Right.
It's the toughest finisher in the WWE right now.
Mm-hmm.
Shawn Michaels is a retired old wrestler.
Oh.
He gets the punt.
Yeah.
And he doesn't get knocked out. He finds his way to the rope. He crawls up on the rope, and
okay.
So he took a stunner. He gets the punt, and Shawn doesn't get knocked out.
Okay.
And he felt that Shawn, being the professional that he is, should have sold it the proper way.
Being the professional that he is, we do know Shawn Michaels' track record in the past when there was going to be something done and he didn't like it. Do I have to point out Shawn Michaels versus Hulk Hogan? For those of you who don't know what the Pharaoh was talking about, Shawn Michaels and Hulk Hogan were supposed to have more than one match. It was you win, I win. Well, turns
Really?
yeah,
I did not know that.
It was supposed to be that, and it turns out that right before they were going to have their match, Michaels and Hogan threw in the old, "My back hurts, brother, and I don't want to do a second match, so I'm winning this one." Well, Hogan, pulled his creative card. Vince backed Hogan. Michaels freaking hated it. If you watch the match back, he flops like a fish everywhere. He over dramatizes. At one point, he goes over the top rope and spins another extra circle and stuff. He's flopping like a fish to oversell and undercut Hulk Hogan. So when Shawn Michaels doesn't like something, and according to Jim Cornette, he's the only man in the history of the company who's ever been able to walk into Vince's office, drop the F-bomb at him, and walk out.
But
I think that Shawn Michaels, if he wasn't into it, then he'd probably decide to stand up.
How do you do that to Randy Orton? How do you do that to Drew McIntyre?
Because he's Shawn Michaels.
How do you do that to the WWE?
Because he's Shawn Michaels, and he's been doing it for years.
Do you think that?
So much for the conversion.
Do you think there's a possibility
what?
That Randy has been tough on NXT publicly on Twitter?
Sure.
That Shawn runs NXT.
And maybe
this was an opportunity.
How about maybe Shawn doesn't like Randy in real life? I don't know, but maybe that's possible too, right? Maybe he's like, screw you.
Maybe.
It wouldn't be past Shawn Michaels to go, I don't think so.
So,
you know what I mean?
Knowing that we were going to speak about this, and we know pretty long-related history of Shawn Michaels. We've had wrestlers in here that have Marty Jannetty, who had a lot to say about Shawn Michaels, and on and on and on.
Right.
I pulled up Eric Bischoff on Shawn Michaels, right? So one of the real important things we always used to say is, like, during the Monday Night Wars, if anyone remembers those, the WCW would take the WWE talent and vice versa, but Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, they never left, and I always wondered why Shawn, would Shawn have been the final nail in the coffin if he would have left and moved on? And we covered it in the past show, and you said absolutely not. It's like The Rock and Stone Cold were the only things that would have made a difference.
Right.
He basically said there was never discussion, there was never any intent
to bring Shawn in. Gotcha.
Shawn Michaels, if he hears this, and I doubt he will, but he might read the recap somewhere, as talented as he was, and as much as a star as he was a head case.
Yep.
He knew it, and he certainly acknowledges it now.
And he continues, I had zero interest in Shawn Michaels or creating the perception and stirring the that would have been stirred in my own locker room and on my own roster by even the suggestion that this was going to possibly happen. Yeah, well, I told you, that's it. That's the deal with Shawn. You're bringing in, it's funny, sometimes the poor Pharaoh gets the diva label. That Shawn Michaels is a diva. Okay? When you're getting Shawn Michaels, you're getting the prince.
So he hasn't changed?
I don't think so. That resurrection stuff, God bless that, but I really don't buy into he's had a total...
Stay still for Jesus. Shoot Bambi.
That, you know what?
And then
that's his thing.
When the WWE
I will
at
not
its worst
grade
moments
that.
right
That's
now,
his deal.
It's hard to put Randy over, right? Randy's a top-notch wrestler.
Randy is doing a great job of getting himself over nowadays. I'll tell you that.
But, you know,
Randy's
it doesn't
been awesome.
help when Sean... Now, again, personally
Sean should have
watching
been
it...
like killed dead.
But, again, I've heard
But
these...
do you want the same stretcher treatment as you got with Flair? Sean's a younger man. I don't know about the stretcher treatment. Just be knocked cold
Well,
for
let
a
me
few
ask you,
minutes.
when you
That's
saw it,
fair.
did you think he no-sold?
No, I wasn't thinking that at all.
Neither was I.
Yeah, so, you know.
I'm going on the fact that...
Look, I got a lot of respect for Shawn Michaels right now. If he got into the ring, I got to be honest. When I was looking at Shawn this Monday, and I should have said this to Park because we were checking it out, I was like, man, this guy should... I want him to wrestle AJ Styles now. Shawn Michaels has one great match.
Still go?
He's got one, and I know he knows it too. I don't know if it's going to happen in the next year or so. It's going to happen, though. Sean's not going to end the way he did.
You know what's funny?
There's one great match left. It should be AJ. I'd love to see it.
As we get older, we forget. Remember how bad him and Triple H the bed in Saudi Arabia? That was bad.
He won't let that be his last match. He can't. He can't. And I think that it'll drive him to have one last great hurrah. And it should, in my opinion, be against AJ. Or maybe Daniel Bryan or something if he wants to have. I prefer AJ.
WWE Hall of Famer Bret Hart said this week that Shawn Michaels and Triple H had it out for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson early in his WWE tenure. On the podcast, Hart specifically mentioned at the time when Michaels berated The Rock for using the missile dropkick.
Interesting.
He says, I remember Shawn Michaels coming into the dressing room and dressing down poor Dwayne. Shawn came in and just dressed him down and chewed him up and spit him out. And I believe HBK told The Rock to never do a top rope drop kick ever again because it was his move. And then he got mad and slammed the door. And The Rock was upset over it. So thoughts on that? And he also says that Triple H was the same. He was always out to get The Rock.
Well, apparently at the end of the day, none of that seemed to matter because Vince McMahon fell in love with The Rock, and thank God he did because he gave us one of the top 5 greatest characters on screen in the history of the business, in my mind. So, I mean, are you really surprised that Triple H and Shawn were doing shit like this? I'm not surprised at all. These guys control the company to this day.
Disturbing obsession. WWE star Sonya Deville's home broken into by a man with knife and duct tape.
Did he realize that he stood no chance? He's got a knife and duct tape, and he still stands no chance. What man in his properest freaking frame of mind would go into her house? She's a brute! I mean, how on earth could I? Dude, I wouldn't fight her if you paid me. I'd be like, no, you fight her.
Renee Young reportedly will leave the WWE. Final date with the company is unknown. Longtime WWE host and interviewer announcer Renee Young has reported the company that she's leaving. I'm going to leave this to the Pharaoh because I know what a fan he is of Renee Young. Go ahead,
What
brother.
a surprise that, by the way, this is where the folks that...
By the way, real quick,
Yeah.
Young, 34, signed with the WWE in 2012.
Sure.
So they gave her this opportunity in her mid-20s.
Yes.
And we'll go back to the fact is Angry Vince doesn't
Yeah.
want to make stars,
Right.
and he's greedy.
Right.
Well,
Right.
hey, people have the right to leave, right?
Right.
That's your right.
Right.
And
And
then
Vince has the right, and I love what Vince did here. Can I really spell out
Yeah,
what Vince did
do
here?
it.
Vince was like, don't worry, Renee. It's no big deal that Jon Moxley is now over in AEW. I don't mind. But I'm going to keep you on the air and torture you for a little while, and then I'm going to slowly fade you away till you're basically worth nothing to my company. And then when you're gone, you can go over there to that B-grade thing and have fun with your B-grade husband because neither of you are Brock Lesnar. Renee Young, you're fired.
So you don't think this is a hit to the WWE at all? By the way, great imitation.
Did you say a hit? Oh no, we've lost Renee Young. Whatever are we going to do? It's like losing Gene Okerlund. Oh no. I will say this. Renee Young was really good on interviews. She was fine. She was solid. But we have not lost an engaging character that we could talk about for the next 35
Would you
years.
consider a
We will get over
play-by-play
it.
or
We
a
will be
color
fine.
commentator? Did you consider a play-by-play
I
or
do
color?
not consider her a play-by-play person, sorry, or a color commentator. I consider her a good interview person.
I
And
know-
if I had been the guy behind the scenes talking to Vince, I would have said she's ace at interviewing people. Leave her at that. That's what I would have said. And no, it doesn't mean that I'm limiting her boundaries and her job opportunities. She was great at that. Pay her well. She's awesome. Let her interview people. I thought she was great.
So do you think that she goes
The
down?
announcing booth? No,
Is she
thank you.
going to AEW, or is she going to do something different?
Of course she's going to. And you know what I really hope they do for her over there? Let her and John get evil and let him manage him, and let's see a whole side of her we've never seen.
Oh, you
Can
don't
we
think
can we
she's
do
gonna
that?
Be doing ring announcing?
Oh God, really? We're gonna have her ring announcing over there? Who's she replacing? Excalibur?
Doink the Clown, along with Dink the Clown.
Yeah, I like
so-
our makeup on the advertisement.
Yeah, no, it's not too bad,
That
right?
works. I feel like Gene Simmons.
How do you
Go
feel
on.
about having clowns though in the studio?
How do
Is
I
it-
feel about
like
having
people
clowns?
are scared of clowns? Matt was telling me how scared of clowns he is.
What?
And that's not
Matt,
a
you're
knock.
afraid of clowns?
I would say it's more creeped out by clowns.
Okay. Did I ever tell you about the time when I was a little boy and the Mr. Peanut guy scared the out of me?
What?
I was in Atlantic City with my parents. I was like
Mr.
the
Peanut.
little Farrell, like 5 years old, with
Yeah,
my
yeah.
little scepter. I'm walking around. You know, my parents were like, "Why is he walking around with a scepter?" I was like, "I'm the Farrell. Come on." Anyway, I got separated from them. I don't know how this happened, but I got separated from my parents at Atlantic City. It's busy. The boardwalk. I'm this little guy. I'm like looking around. All of a sudden, I turn around, and there's a giant mascot dressed as Mr. Peanut from the Planters Peanuts.
never heard this
and I'm
story.
looking up. No, I know. And I'm looking up and I'm like, oh my God, it's a walking, living, and he's got spectacles, a living, breathing peanut.
Right.
I'm just a little kid, scared the out of me. I'm running down the boardwalk, screaming, "Ah! Ah!" My father sees me. He's like, he blocks me. He's like, oh, there's a peanut back there. It's actually scary. So, don't feel so bad about being scared about clowns because a peanut scared the out of me.
You know, it could have even been
know?
worse. He got
You're all right,
separated-
Matt. You're good.
He got separated from his parents, and then you might have been the original Joe Dirt.
They should have realized it was their lucky day. They got separated from me. Get in the car and go.
But that's Joe
What's
Dirt.
wrong with them?
I want to get to the
Okay.
SummerSlam predictions.
No, the SummerSlam thoughts. You can make predictions. I will make thoughts.
Fine.
Because you're gonna.
But you
ruin it
have
for
to
me.
make a decision.
No, I don't. No, I
You
don't.
can't. Come on, dude. You can't.
You know that if I start making predictions, it gets all smarty.
Farrell will call me and go, "You ruined wrestling
Because I
for me
just
again."
want to watch it. What am I going to sit there and the Yankees are going to win tonight? Gary Cole. What are you
Because
taking them out for?
fun. It's fun.
It's not fun to me.
We had a show on Kamala last week, which did pretty well.
Yes.
A lot of the pro wrestling experts were
We
offended.
believe that it's on you, and it didn't have to be Kamala. It could be anybody. We believe that it's on you to take care of your money. I don't fault Hulk Hogan for being the star of the show. I mean, what is so offensive?
But I find it funny. They were
what-
so offended, but they didn't mention anything Lanny Poffo had to
Lanny
say.
completely destroyed Kamala as far as the facts and the financial end of it.
I don't know if he destroyed him. You destroyed him?
Financially?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, you're right.
Financially,
You're right. I stand corrected.
Lanny spelled it out much clearer than we did because Lanny knows. He's in the business. Lanny was in the business.
Sure.
Lanny knew that if you gave him $180,000, he would have spent it.
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
why don't you know? Oh, I get it. He's Lanny, so we'll let him slide, and we'll just come after Monty and Farrell, right? Right? What are
Yeah.
you? Are you bored?
SummerSlam.
Yeah, go
Apollo Crews versus MVP for the United States Championship.
Logically, Apollo Crews should continue to hold that title. Logically, how you feel?
I feel okay. So this is SummerSlam. Anything can happen, right? I think that's the
Sure.
title they're saying, right? It's like anything can happen,
Okay.
right?
MVP going to get a belt at
They
this
got to
stage?
keep Apollo strong,
Right.
but I would actually like to see Apollo in the Hurt Business.
I would too.
And I think you said that last
So
week.
how do we accomplish that? By MVP beating him for the belt?
Or
I'm not seeing that.
so you just think straight Apollo Crews win here?
Yeah, I think Apollo Crews is going to hold on to the belt. That's
still
just
be
my.
still be the face.
That's just. But they're going to start maybe the win. MVP comes to him and goes, you know what? I respect that, man. Why don't you come with us, man? Come with us. You know, and maybe that begins the recruitment process. Who
He's
knows?
been trying, right?
Right.
And then you had a problem with Ricochet and with Apollo not choosing him. It wasn't a Ricochet. Who's the other guy?
Ricochet's sidekick,
Yeah.
Cedric Alexander.
Cedric Alexander.
Yeah,
They
how
didn't pick him.
exciting
They
are.
didn't pick him. They
Hell
didn't pick-
yeah.
Man,
Oh,
Ricochet
yeah,
is
man.
falling off the battle.
Ricochet needs to put.
All right, so both agreed Apollo Crews wins that,
he
right?
needs to be Prince Boomer
Again, you don't have to be Einstein. I got 100% right on fake
matter.
wrestling.
You know, would I like it if MVP won? I actually would, but whatever. Go on.
That's a swerve we don't need right now, right?
Nah, I don't think it's necessary.
It's not necessary.
No, I don't think so.
I'll stick with it.
I'll tell you what I do think is necessary. The Street Profits for the tag belts, they're the champions against Andrade and Angel Garza. You better put those belts on Andrade and Angel now.
So what are you thinking?
That they're going to win it now.
Of course.
Put the damn belts on them now. That is such a great team. And I do like the Street. By the way, Street Profits do a great job.
They do, but
they do.
It's time to break Montez Ford out already, right? And get
Is
away from
it?
That. I think so.
With those legs?
Yeah.
You're going to make him, like, what are you going to make him? A United States champion, Intercontinental champion? What are you going to make him? I think he's perfect for the tag team, but I'm not so. He's a great in-ring wrestler, but I'm not sure about that look overall. I'm not sure. He's a great entertainer, though. All right.
But we're in
Perhaps.
agreement, Angel Garza and Andrade, right?
I believe so.
All right, so that's pretty easy stuff.
I believe so.
Dominic Mysterio versus Seth Rollins in a street fight.
Interesting. Seth's got to win this. You think they'll give it to Dominic?
No.
Yeah, because I feel like Seth's got to win it, but here's the best
Seth's
part.
not gonna do it,
Here's
John.
what I'm hoping for. Ray costs his own son the match. And then we get what I want.
And then you're getting what you want.
Then we get what I want. Dominic going, hey, Dad, bang. That'd be great.
Dominic's got the goods, though, right?
I like Dominic. I think he's going to grow into a fine young
How do
wrestling
you think this match will be?
persona. He's good. I think this is going to be a good match.
But we're in agreement.
I have a lot of faith in Dominic. I really do. I think he's shown quite a bit for a youngster. He's doing a damn good job. And by the way, where are all those Vince haters to go? He's giving the son of Rey Mysterio the ultimate career opportunity very early on.
All right, I'm going to make a prediction here.
Go ahead.
I'm going to predict that Buddy Murphy has some falling out with Seth during the match.
Costs him the match?
And costs him the match.
Interesting.
But I'm also
like
going to
that.
go on your swerve where somehow something happens to Dominic, where Dominic joins Seth, and
that's-
Buddy Murphy goes to the outside as the face.
Huh. Buddy Murphy is the face. Are you trying to put me to sleep? Buddy Murphy needs to be a bad guy. Forever.
Well, if
He's
there's-
one of them.
If
I
there's
don't
a
know if I
breakup
could...
between him and Seth,
What's his promos going to be? I can't picture Buddy Murphy as a good guy.
they're already building like he doesn't want to be a stoolie, like, you know what I mean?
But is that sympathy, which would work in the initial turn, would that sustain his character? Would it last?
Bro, it's so
I don't think
hard
so.
without an audience because you don't
I know. You don't
like,
know.
You can't feed off the fans.
I do like the writing lately, though.
The writing's incredible.
I do.
The writing is so good.
I think the writing's
it's
good
incredible.
lately. Yeah. Yeah, it's been okay. Not so bad.
Sonya Deville versus man. So we're both sticking with Seth Rollins, right?
It logically, but if watch Dominic win. Go on.
What?
I said logically, yeah. I'm agreeing that we're going to go with Seth.
Okay.
Watch Dominic
All
win.
right, okay.
No, I want a hardcore prediction. So you hate the entire pay-per-view, and you call me all angry because you went 8-2 instead of 9-1.
Sonya Deville.
Go
Sonya
on.
Deville versus Mandy Rose. Hair versus hair.
Hair versus hair. There is no way Mandy Rose is losing her hair. Mandy Rose is winning this match.
And Sonya's going to get her head shaven?
Yeah, sure,
Or,
why not?
are we falling for trickery here?
We're not
Where
putting a crew cut on Mandy Rose. It's not happening.
No, but I'm saying is,
No.
are they faking us out and they're just going to cut
Oh, they're gonna
Sonya's
cut a
hair
couple of
short? You
locks
know what I
and
mean?
stuff like
And be
that.
like, oh, now she's got short hair like Mandy.
You know
like,
what?
I want to see a baldy.
I tell you what, you put a crew cut on Sonya Deville, I'm running away as fast as I can, man. I'm already afraid of her. You know,
Dude,
I'm like,
So
she is a
I got to be
bad,
honest with you.
bad
I will
babe.
be tuned into SummerSlam. These are good matches.
I like it. Bailey versus Asuka. What, you don't think that's going to be a great match in the ring? Of
SmackDown
course it
Women's-
is.
So wait a minute, are we going with Mandy Rose over Sonya?
Yeah, I'm going with Mandy.
So far you
I
and
hate
me are,
that you got
you
me
and me are
doing
going
this.
down the same road.
Yeah, I think so.
Right. So if you're wrong, I'm wrong, right?
Yeah, well, whatever. Oh, it's so much
So
fun
you brought
that
up
way. We're both idiots. Yeah.
Bailey versus Asuka,
Yeah, yeah,
SmackDown
yeah.
Women's
Yeah.
Championship.
Yeah. Oh, this is difficult. Asuka has to walk out with one
that's what I'm
belt.
saying.
I think
Give me your
she's-
choices. Hold on.
I think she's going to walk out with Bailey's belt.
Both belts? One belt? No belt.
I think she's going to walk out with Bailey's belt. Sasha's going to somehow retain. Oh, you know what though? Logically, if we are, do you think we're going to lead to Sasha versus Bailey? Is
Yes.
that breakup coming?
Yes. I'm going with this prediction, and I'm going to be wrong, but I have. To
Go
me,
ahead.
it makes sense.
Go ahead.
Asuka doesn't walk out with either belt,
Wow.
which destroys Asuka, right?
Asuka's walking out with Bailey's belt. Sasha has been very selfish here. By the way, Bailey offered up to soften her up for Sasha first.
Right.
Bailey is going to be resentful after Bailey gives a classic with Asuka, or at least a very, very good hard-fought match. Whether it's a classic, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
After Asuka defeats her, and maybe even Sasha up during the match a little bit,
Right.
and Asuka wins that belt. Now she's got a tired Asuka, just like Bailey, said she would. I'll soften her up for you, blah, blah, blah. Sasha wins her match. Sasha continues to gloat after that. Bailey's standing there with no belt. The resentment builds.
Strowman, Bray Wyatt, Universal Championship.
Oh, the Fiend. This belongs to, I got one thing to tell Braun Strowman. Run.
How do you like this new Braun Strowman attitude?
Great. Still going
But
to
they're
lose
still
to the
going to
Fiend.
give the belt to the Fiend.
I think the Fiend's going to win it.
Does Alexa play a
Yep.
big role in
Yeah.
the Fiend getting the title?
Yeah, I would think so. I think we're going to have a much more definitive approach to what's going on with Alexa in general at SummerSlam, don't you? We're going to find out something.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we're going to find out something. What? She's going to be with Braun? What a letdown that would be. I wanted to be Sister Abigail.
Finish it up with McIntyre against Randy Orton for the WWE Championship.
Boy, oh boy, do I want this match to just be awesome.
Oh, it will be.
I want this match to be so brutal. Just destroy each other. I do like Drew McIntyre, but I love Randy Orton. He's winning that belt unless that Charlotte thing happens.
Got a couple things going on
You
now.
think that Charlotte thing could happen?
Bring it back to Shawn Michaels. In the match, he said you're either going to get a Sweet Chin music or you're going to get a Claymore. He said it. Right?
How great would it be if he went to Sweet Chin Music Randy, but he Sweet Chins Drew? Oops. That'd be cool.
Any chance Shawn screws Drew?
Yeah.
So you get a lot of different things. You could have Charlotte screwing Orton.
Right, because of what happened. What about Ric Flair coming out and helping Orton win anyway? It was a roost the whole time!
Because you never,
Woo!
and you never saw it, right? Because they turned the lights off.
Right.
So, yeah.
Honestly, if
Could be
Randy
anything.
Orton's going to win the title that night, Ric Flair will come out there and give Drew McIntyre a ball shot, and everybody will be going, wait a minute, didn't you just beat him up?
All right,
You
so
know?
we're going to...
Randy Orton's
going to
win the belt.
title.
Where does this leave McIntyre, though, by the way? Where does that leave Drew? How badly would this loss hurt Drew?
It hurts because I got to tell you.
Then what, do you think
when
they'll
this
pull
is
the
all
trigger?
said and done, we're going to say that Drew McIntyre was the worst
No, we
champion in
won't.
the history of the company.
Why? Why would we say that? Because
He
the
drew no
ratings were
fans.
so bad.
Yeah,
Well,
and
you
the
know,
ratings
there were
sucked.
no fans. We're back at this again. There were no fans in the audience.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, I went to McDonald's and there was nobody to serve me. I'm never coming here again. You're the worst champion ever.